herO is down below 100 supply. Snute maintains 170 here after what we've been looking at, a 2-hour series here. All the Tempests will die, and Snute in this tactical warfare, we can see herO lost in confusion on the screen in how this series has played out, and Snute's style here is going to prevail. 170 to 76.
Yeah. Spent even more gas on that hatchery here to try and snipe it. He's going to be able to get that, but I mean, Snute, he has one base that's untouchable, and then from there he's going to be able to take more and more bases. The Swarmos are still alive. That's 23 of them. He's still got 10 Queens, 13 Corruptors, and 9 Vipers against just a single Tempest. A single Tempest and a Mothership, which are going to have a lot of work ahead of them if they want to be able to win this game.
Snute is moments away from defeating a 2-time Intel Extreme Masters champion. This is a massive moment here for Snute as he pushes himself closer and closer to qualifying for the main tournament. herO's lost in confusion right now. He's researching Blink, which I'm going to say, Todd, I don't think is the most valuable
I think he's going to go into a base trade, probably.
I mean,
when you get desperate and you can't beat your opponent's army, you just go into a base trade, and I mean...
Well, he's catching a couple of these Corruptors, but he is lost in where to go, what to do at this moment. How can he stop the Swarmos from sieging and getting closer and closer and closer? A massive moment here for the Norwegian, as he has his opponent on the ropes. He's lost, he's hurt, he doesn't know how to win this game anymore.
The Viper's going in for some Abduct maybe on the Stalkers, which definitely not the best spell, but there is no Blink just yet. Yeah, I mean, herO, at this point, he's just desperate. He's hoping for Snute to basically make the biggest mistake of his career to potentially win this game. herO still has a, I guess, not too low of an income. Like at the bottom right-hand side, he's got 2 bases. He's still mining more than Snute, especially in terms of gases, because Snute is at 0.
He just doesn't have that big army anymore that he needs to destroy the waves and waves of locusts and the spores and eventually get towards the Swarmos. He just doesn't have it. He's got a lot of money now started to build up, I guess, waiting to be used. 13 Stalkers. Stalkers it is then, Todd.
Yeah, he's trying to get a snipe on some of those Vipers, but big
There's Swarm host everywhere.
The Queens.
There's no detection here. He's running into a wall, and he's getting absolutely destroyed here. herO is still wondering, where does he go? What does he do?
Yeah, he's trying to get some units on the top right-hand side as well.
He's going to surrender. GG. And Snute is able to take out herO 2-1. And as you can see on screen, a massive moment there for Snute. A big, big win, taking down the Intel Extreme Masters champion of twice. And now Snute finds himself just 1 game away, 1 series away. He must fight against StarTale Life, another Intel Extreme Masters champion, if he wants to qualify from the winner bracket. Well, that means that herO drops down to the lower rounds now, where he faces elimination in every game he shall play from this point.
Yeah, and
Snute,
I don't know what else to say, and that was some pretty insane series that we saw. Lots of long games, lots of transitions, a lot of small details, you know. Snute sending the Queens everywhere, being able to defend, anticipating every single move of herO. And herO, who seemingly maybe lacked experience against this style of Snute. I feel like more War Prisms maybe could have done it.
All right, well, that is the series over. Red Eye, take it away.
Thank you very much, Sean. Yes, back over on the couch here with Kevin, QXC, and also alongside him is Nathan. Guys, once more, just astonishing series, first of all, between these 2 players. I think it's well documented on my Twitter what I think about Swarm hosts, so I'm not even going to go there right now. But interesting that we had 3 games in a row using a very similar style. But they were different matches.
Yeah, they were definitely... For me, the coolest part about that series was watching herO's response evolve. You could definitely tell in the first game, his idea of defeating the Swarm host was just to attack, 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 but he was kind of behind. When it got to the Swarm host play, he was already kind of behind. His Colossus count got reset by the mutas, and then the subsequent Hydra timing was pretty tough. In the second game, he kind of put forth the ideas that maybe he thought of from the first game. He's like, I'm going to mass counterattack, I'm going to deny his expansions, I'm going to mass War Prism, and it worked. He had a huge economy. He had that top left base that was just untouched, and then the third game came.
I mean, honestly, in the first game, when that Hydralisk attack pushed into the natural, between the natural and the third, and the Phoenix came in, finished off all the Hydras, I was pretty sure that Snute was dead, and it took some really good plays. As you said, the transitions he hit flawlessly. On a bigger map like Nimbus, herO showed a really good job of rotating around the map as he mined out the bases, and as you said, deny the expansions. But where that went wrong on the last map is just... I mean, that was just some madness. He got everything set up so well because of the way that the map is set up. Having those 4 bases close together really makes it difficult to attack because, you know, the threat of the abducts from the Vipers and the Swarm hosts can just control that space more easily. But herO was able to get a lot of money still, too. He didn't have any of those southeast expansions contested.
Yeah.
And Snute, as he was like, I'm content to just split the map. No matter what happens, I'll be more cost effective than you. So it doesn't really matter that you have as many bases as me, because I'm going to lose resources less fast.
Yeah.
I mean, the strange thing about this as well is that when Snute looks back at this, you saw his reaction. It was almost like he almost lost. You know, it looked like he was the loser at the end of the match from his physical demeanor, but it's just how much that game has taken out of him, and he's now got life to look forward to in the next game. But at least this one's for something. He's got to go through the group stages. If he wins this
the
next
match
one.
against Life is going to be fast.
Yeah,
you know, ZvZ does not. I want to use the word degrade, but
it's okay. You can go there, Kev.
It does not transition into that sort of play. One thing that I really thought was interesting in the third game is it felt like herO was starting to run out of mental energy, and we saw that. And it's not clear whether it was he tired, or did he actually think that maybe those trades at the front of his base were what he was supposed to do? Because it kind of, in all the other games, he never, ever got to a point where he was letting Vipers consistently pull his units into the
the first game, in the end, he kind of realized, he knew that he'd gone the wrong way. He knew what was going to happen. It didn't work out. He GG's out. That's fine. Second game, you kind of get the feeling that he's figured this out now. Okay, you want to play the same style against me? All right, well, then I'm going to figure that out and I'm going to work it against you. And he worked it perfectly. He doesn't play against this kind of play at all in Korea. We just don't see this kind of... I mean, it's relatively popular, I would say, in some classes within the ladder in Europe, but I mean, we know Snute plays it. We know Stefano's played like it in the past. He will not have come across this in Korea. So he's had to kind of think about it as he's gone through. Second map, it almost like the light bulb's gone and he's gone, okay, now I get you, now I'm going to play like this. Third game, why did that not happen?
So the biggest difference between Nimbus and Deadwing, even though they both have such good expansions, like Nate was saying, is that 4th base on Nimbus is actually very exposed. On Deadwing, it's really not. And then at some point in Deadwing, and it's hard to pinpoint exactly where, herO just decided he's going to try and make those trades work. Snute had his Swarmhost line, he had his Queens, his Spore Crawlers, his Vipers, and herO had probably what he imagined was the perfect composition. And I say that because when you have 12,000 minerals and 5,000 gas, you know, you can make anything, basically. And herO made what he thought was the best, and then he tried to make the trades. But the problem is Swarmhost making those locusts, which don't cost money. Like, there's no trade to make. You're not trading anything. You're giving away. He was donating units to Snute. And as soon as the game reached that point where, for whatever reason, herO decided that's what he was going to do, that was when we saw the advantage really slide into Snute's favor. herO's bank started to deplete. His control of the map just went away. And one of the main ways that we saw that manifest itself is Snute's 5th base got up to about 30 spine crawlers. And that's not something that happens in a moment.
No, I agree. The positioning of the 3rd and 4th make it much easier for the Swarm host to just protect both bases at the same time. And I would definitely agree with you on the part of mental exhaustion definitely taking its toll in this series, because, you know, even Snute stopped doing this style for a little while. You could tell, you were mentioning, you could tell when the series ended, that took a lot out of him.
Absolutely. Just quickly, before we get Snute on, he's going to be joining us in just a moment. What are your thoughts on, I mean, he won't care that he's had to win this way. He felt like he needed to play that style. We'll talk to him in a minute about that. He won't care. I mean, it's however you win, right? So that's fine. But generally as a viewer, I mean, it's not the most enjoyable of experiences.
If I'm a fan of Snute, I'm willing to watch whatever it takes, because that guy really needs the victories in this tournament to get to BlizzCon. Simple as that.
As a pro gamer, literally any strategy at all that is allowed by the game is not only okay, but should be encouraged. we are playing to win, and there's no other thing about it. As far as the Swarm host itself, man, I can't go into it here. It would be longer than the series we just watched.
Well, we might have to get the bleeping censor out as well. Thank you very much, gents, for now. We're going to take a quick break with these two, and we'll be back very shortly with an interview with our winner of the semi-final upper bracket. Snute will be here.